Hello YouTube and welcome back to the thing we do on the internet. It's more Rheum. We're not satisfied particularly with our shameful 1cc of easy mode with the throw up cheat mode up. So we're going to keep playing, if not hard mode in the near future. At the very least, getting more accustomed to going down. Particularly now that we're not necessarily messing around with, macros on the keyboard or anything. We found a sort of maybe sort of secret way of using keyboards and keyboard controls. If you hit Enter when you start your run, you can use your arrow keys and Z and X just like normal. So, yeah, feels good. Feels good, man. Feels good, man. JPEG, right? Meme. But yeah, that certainly does help out a ton. But on top of that, I suppose the whole point of this video, not just to do a pointless easy mode run the correct way, was that we found another secret. Not just a sort of weird cheat, but as the game was advertised, there are like hidden bosses, hidden characters, and the like. And on my off time, I had discovered it kind of by accident, just kind of messing around. So this is a run where we're hoping to do a little bit better against it, take some revenge, and defeat it this time. The last time, I think it's more or less learning its patterns, and then going, oh, we didn't come here particularly prepared or ready for it. So we're hoping we are in this case. Also, you may notice the game got a little sort of an update since our last post as well. Our bombs are identified in the top left of the screen a little differently, as well as our health gauge next to our sort of room gauge as well, with the yellow bar there. So you can tell, even without taking damage now, that we have 4 hits of damage, as we just added another one with that power up. But yeah, as much as I like the throw up ability, or the cheat code rather, I can't say we're going to play it too much. I think it was really cool to go, oh, look what we found. But throwing that on easy mode, I think was a bit of a baby mode. I think I'm really thankful for the popularity that this series is getting relatively to the other videos I put out, and I think it deserves a good playthrough other than just a few easy mode stuff. So I think as we discover some of the secrets, maybe unlock some new characters, who knows, we're going to jump into hard mode and see where our luck lies there. And here we are, coming across the first level boss with 4 hits, almost 5, up until the very last bullet from the last enemy hit us square in the face, as it does. Doing a little bit better on our dodging now. I mean, of course, this is also our arrow keys, so it does. So at the very least, it's we don't have an excuse for making poor dodges here. We're using our natural sort of preference to dodging bullets. Granted, now they're going the opposite direction, but at least it should seem now that mechanically we should be moving better. Maybe still mentally seeing things is still something to be working on. But all the same, looks like we're doing a lot better than we usually are against the first level boss. And hopefully that's a trend moving forward. I mean, luckily he's a large enough target you don't necessarily have to watch. You know, you just mind your business to keep firing forward. A little trick that I've kind of learned here is that he gives you so much yellow goo that you can kind of get away with using him for special power-ups. But there's one thing I noticed that attracted me here to this sort of empty chasm, or this body hole here. Those little like L3L or 737 like symbols. And as I was, as you can see here, as I was kind of deciphering what the hell it is, this green gat comes out and it turns black. Now that 737 like small symbols that are on that piece, on that sort of hole in that sort of sack, still might mean something. It's just as I'm looking at him going, oh wait, I just stumbled into this sort of dark level in this dark room, and apparently one of these sort of secret boss fights. So apparently if you don't necessarily rush to stage 2, this guy will show up. And he's certainly no slouch, even on easy mode. Hoping not to take stupid damage like that with this sort of throw-up attack. And you know, the giant baby in me wants to go, oh, let's just put throw-up on and beat him regular. But I'm like, you know, like I'm saying, I think I'm kind of done with it, you know. You know, even getting the 1cc in the last video, which is always great, which is always, you know, fun, you know, to see the credits. You know, part of me was kind of like, man, I really wish I didn't have that cheat on, but I don't think I'm quite there to really beat it the other way yet. Still not 100% comfortable. As you can see, we're retreating quite a lot down the stage, or rather, high up on the screen when things get a little precarious. We were doing just fine up until just a second ago, as we took 2 points of damage just out of the blue. And now we're kind of like, oh shit. And now this is sort of the panic mode. Luckily we do have plenty of bombs to auto-bomb. We have 3 others. But now that we're like, oh shit, you know, like we've really squandered this. We've really, you know, we've really made so many mistakes dodging that we're like, we walked into this perfectly healthy and now we're going to lose it. And you know, this sort of anxiety builds and you're like, oh shit, we were so close. Why do we play like trash? You know, and that sort of mindset makes for more damage and more poor play. But luckily, we had just enough to kill the guy and unlock a new character. So expect that in the next video, to have a maybe easy mode, maybe hard mode. I'm not quite sure. Maybe easy mode just as a trial of the new character, see what's up with him. And unfortunately, we're just kind of sitting here wasting our special power as it sort of ticks down, saying maybe this hole, like, you know, spurts out some neon goo and turns black for maybe another boss. And it doesn't seem so, which isn't too surprising. You know, you'd figure these secrets would be kind of in different areas, not all, you know, linked together, or not all hidden in the same sort of method of like, okay, after you beat the boss, you just have to wait a while. So on to the next stage, which is stage 2. So going to the secret character, or rather the secret boss, does add some difficulty to it. You're just adding an extra stage to it. So I suppose when you're talking about, like, you know, doing your sort of world record runs, or at least top score runs, You know, you're going to want to know where all these bosses are, to get, you know, to get all the sort of level bonuses. I think this is our first time with this laser attack as well, which is pretty neat, pretty handy stuff. Not homing or anything like Raiden or anything, but certainly tons of damage. Only for a short time, but certainly suits the purpose of clearing the stage. And we should be coming up, there we are. I was going to say we're coming up real close to getting another HP upgrade, which we desperately need. We left that boss in not the healthiest way. You know, it would certainly behoove this run if we could build upon our piddly 2-hit HP a little bit more. But as we've found out in previous runs, you know, trying to pick up these yellow pickups later in the game become a bit more of a tedious act than it is earlier on. I don't know if you just have to collect more, or they just, you know, despite the number of pickups, they equate to less. I'm not entirely positive, but you certainly do have to work a lot harder to get your HP later on in the game. There we go. Luckily, we're going to get one right before this boss. So not bad. I mean, the good thing to keep in mind is that we have 4 auto bombs essentially. So if we, you know, keep our nose down, just keep our shooting eye, as it were, out of the range of bullets, you know, we should have some sticking power. At least 7 hits worth, you know. And this isn't necessarily the hardest boss. Well, if he's not just shooting like rogue bullets out of nowhere. But I suppose we can get a bit too, you know, lazy, assuming he's only going to shoot at that sort of laser-guided, you know, arrow there. Yeah, you see he can kind of shoot one randomly off, and the last one did kind of just hit us. This is a strange special attack here where it fires off that sort of random wave beam. The cool thing about it, though, is if you can actually land it on a boss, it actually does quite a lot of damage. I didn't catch how much it may have done here, if it even hit at all, but if there was giant chunks of health torn from him, I would imagine it was from one of those random shots that may have hit him. And again, after this boss, we're just kind of like, well, maybe. You know, it's one of those things where there, you know, it has been stated there are quite a number of secrets. You know, it's probably best to go through and just, you know, make sure whether there is or there isn't. You know, it's a bit strange that, you know, it gives you a sort of power up baddie here still, but maybe they're just on the level anyway. So at least from the 10 seconds we waited, nothing there. So on to level 3. Or level 4 if you count the secret stage, right? The secret boss. Which is particularly weird, because if you watch the 1cc video and you're like, oh, this is about 16, 17 minutes, and then you look at this one, which is about the same time, but we squander it, you're like, wait, what went wrong? And it's kind of funny. You know, you add the length time, you add the difficulty by going to these extra stages. Boy. But you do that when you want to shorten it up and just run into things. A cool little touch was that on-screen text of letting you know how many bombs you have left once it's getting a little on the low side. We should be coming up on our maximum gauge here, getting really close. But yeah, I mean, coming really close to just perishing altogether as well. Jesus Christ. Talk about last second, right? Essentially down to one hit left, no more bombs. But just getting that shot off, that sort of special gauge shot, which, you know, that lightning strike does deal damage, at least from what I've noticed. So if you can save it up for like a, you know, mob of enemies, you can actually do damage as well as, you know, grabbing the icon that spawns shortly after and clearing off some enemies and bullets that way too. So, you know, kind of a lucky go of it there. And again here, so hey, up to 3 hit points, no bombs, but not particularly worried really. Well, that was unfortunate. Oh no. Down to our last hit, and we need a lot more yellow bits to work on our stuff. And here we are there. Okay. Yeah, I say we're kind of getting swarmed now and kind of getting slow. So, paid for that. But hey, we unlocked a new character that we're going to check out next time. But yeah, that'll be it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, do all that stuff, and we'll come back and play some more Rheum in the future.